Hello and welcome, YouTube, to Loopville TCG. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different to our normal vids. We've made an investment guide for each and every clan, talking about the main chase cards for Standard and Premium, which will hopefully point you in the right direction to be ready for when your clan is in the spotlight. As Cray Elemental, or Zaza, can be splashed into a lot of different decks, we will not be bringing it up unless it's absolutely necessary. Basically, in the middle here, we'll have the card that we're mentioning, and on the bottom, we'll have the session which you can find the said card. Hope you enjoy it.
Royal Paladin is one of those easy to build clans for many people, especially for beginners. Released only recently, the Altmile Trial deck is a very good pickup as it contains a couple of cards that can be used in both its future upgraded deck or the Majesty Lord Blaster deck, which will be released later this year. Furthermore, the Little Sage Marin that appears in the Festival Collection is a very near staple for most Royal Paladin decks, so if you want to pick that up, you're more than welcome to do so. On the other hand, the Laurel Knight Sitzless that appears in the Next Stage set is a very good pickup, but it is not necessary to play most of the Royal Paladin decks, so if you don't have a big enough budget, you do not need to purchase it. Furthermore, on the premium side of things, it is basically Standard Plus Focus, where you play a sort of blaster-heavy deck in combination with the Holy Dragon, Crystal Luster Dragon that will be released in the Premium Collection set later on this year.
Tetramagus is an expensive staple that will make Cicino better, but ultimately it's not as needed as other cards in the set. Victorious Deer and Duraili are good grade 3s to pick up, as they speed up your win condition and are just all-around good cards. In Premium, Oracle Think Tank only requires you to pick up Silent Tom from the V-Series and Stillwater Ichikishima, GPT-12, as well as necessary criticals to make 12 crit Momo strong. These criticals include Aqua Witch from the new Premium Collection, Weather Girl Sandal from the previous Premium Collection, and of course Kusanagi from VBT-08. Angel Feather, in terms of Standard, is a massive toolbox clan. Ideally, you want to have literally everything, since it broadens your ideas. However, Mobile Hospital and Metatron are the main grade 3s outside of Malkuth that you would want to pick up. Mobile Hospital is reprinted in VBT-07, and Metatron is being reprinted at the upcoming Festival Collection. Other tech options include Zerakiel and Helpful Intendant, Zerakiel being found in Ultra Rare, and Helpful Intendant being found also in VBT-07. Angels in Premium are very much like in Standard. Ideally, you'd want to pick up Black Slice Harut and Surgery Angel. You must have the Gabriel Strides, as the new Premium Collection Stride doesn't do much by itself, and other main deck options include Nurse of Broken Heart for extra power, and Black Boa Malik for rescuing and countercharging.
Shadow Paladin is a very easy clan to transition from Standard to Premium to if you base your deck around Claret Sword Drag, which is found in Team Dragon's Vanity, as long as many of its support cards, such as Cherishing Knight Brandwin and Morun Spear Dragon, which are staples that can be used outside the Claret Sword build. The rest of the staples can be found in the Festival Collection with reprints such as Skull Witch Domain, Blackwing Swordbreaker, and Darkshield Maclear. With the upcoming release of Phantom Blaster Overlord, I'll highly recommend picking up Phantom Blaster Dragon. With Premium, your main deck options are very minimal as you only need very few cards, such as Dark Knight Maha and Cursed-Eyed Raven. For your G-Zone, you'll be using the newer strides, such as Drag Principal Morfessa and Dark Dragon Chainyanker Dragon. Gold Paladin in Standard is a very easy clan to pick up, as the majority of their pieces can be found in the Mysterious Fortune, which focuses on Knight of Fury Agravain. The Festival Collection also comes with very nice reprints, such as Halo Shield Mark and Listener of the Truth Dindrain, which are very good staple generics in Gold Paladin. Also, some cards I recommend picking up are an Aerial Steed Liberation, which include Stronghold of the Black Chains Hoel and Advance of the Black Chains Kahedon. For Premium Gold Paladin, however, it is more focused on the Ezel subclan, which can also be built in Standard. However, you can also convert your Agravain deck into a premium build as well with very minimal changes. Main pickups for Premium Gold Paladin are more focused on G-Zone, such as Blambet Dragon, Spearcross Dragon, Ultima, Slamy Flare, as well as Gigatech Ringer.
In Vanguard, the Genesis clan is one of those clans that have a built-in standard that you can easily use and transition into Premium. Most notably, the deck that revolves around the origin deity of Heavenly Light, Uranus, is probably the most popular build that can use in both Standard and Premium, which you only need cards from the Uranus TD, from cards from Infidelity Cradle, and also Astral Force. So if you want to play Genesis in both Standard and Premium, the Uranus build is essentially the easiest build you can use. If we transition into Premium with the focus on Uranus, you will only need to pick up cards such as the Hero Deity of Zenith, Marduk, and the Goddess of Sound Sleep, Taro, as your biggest pickups, alongside any potential G guards and other G units. So as a whole, Genesis is one of those easy clans you can build in both Standard that can easily transition into Premium.
Kagero currently has 2 standard builds, with one focusing on Overlord and one on Blade Master, which both are getting support very soon. Both decks can use all the cards in the Festival Collection as well. For Overlord, you'll be looking for cards in the Heroic Evolution, being Dragonic Overlord DN and Wyvern Strike the Cat being the main ones. Blade Master also has its main cards in the Heroic Evolution set as well, with it being Wyvern Strike Doha and Wyvern Strike Garan. For Premium, Overlord is the better option. I'll recommend picking out Flared Trooper Dumjid, the Gnarled Griffin, and Dragonic Overlord the Tross, the original one that can Legion. Kagero always seems to be using older cards every time it gets new support, so it's a very rewarding clan for players that stay dedicated to it.
Nubatama is one of those clans in Vanguard these days where you can build a deck in Standard and have it easily transition into Premium. Some of those cards that would support both playstyles is Stealth Dragon Magatsu Gale, which will be reprinted in the Festival Collection, later released in the year. Some of your token generators, such as the Evil Stealth Dragon Zangetsu and Evil Stealth Dragon Kurogiri, which has a bigger emphasis in Standard, but you can also use them in Premium, especially with the card later released in Premium Collection 2020 in the form of Rikudo's Demonic Dragon Jaku Meso. Furthermore, the Stealth Rogue of the Night, Sakura Fubiki, is an essential card from Nubatama in both formats, and it is your premier cannon charger and filter for the clan. So for the standard focus for Nubatama, you would focus on Hanzo and Jamio Kongo, whereas in Premium you would have Magatsu Storm and Jamio Kongo as your core grade 3s. So essentially, if you want to transition from Standard to Premium, you would trade the Evil Stealth Dragon Akatsuki Hanzo for the Stealth Dragon Magatsu Storm.
For Tachikaze, should get everything in this wave of reprints. The Null, the Grade 1 and the Grade 2 are extremely useful, and Megarex and the Null will be staples to come unless Gaia is revealed to not need them and power creep out Megarex with his own Grade 2. You should also get the usual Anglerblader core from his set, with 4 Anglerblader for Premium and using the only 1 for Standard. In Premium, just get your Anglerblader deck, add in the rest of the Anglebladers to maximize on killing the first ride. Then you should also get your new stride from the Premium Collection 2020, as it is just Anglerblader, but with triple drive and an instant 3 gauge on a rearguard circle. Alternatively, you could also play a deck with Gaia, but we all don't actually have any idea what Gaia really did, so it's best to wait for the new Gaia to see if it's able to be considered.
For Murakumo from the reprint collection, you definitely want to get your Draw PGs and Miyomaru. Both of these cards are very useful in both Standard and Premium. Mostly for Premium with Miyomaru, as the Premium build is currently basically just Standard Plus, so you'll also want to get cards such as Hyuga and Hyaki, just to support the name-sharing build. Apart from this, you may want to get one Shiryuki. It is currently at 1 on the ban list, so it shouldn't be too hard to find, and it's been power crept out a little bit, but it's always a nice option to have and can fill in a grade 3 spot easily.
Narukami, one of, if not the best clans to play in the Standard formats. Although the main deck, the Dragonic Vanquisher deck, is a very meta deck, but the budget to build the deck is not as high as many people would think, as you would spend most of your money on getting pieces of the Dragonic Vanquisher, your main grade 3, and your grade 3 Searcher in the form of Mighty Bolt Dragoon, which you can play the deck without. Furthermore, the Festival Collection that appears later on in the year has some very nice reprints in the form of Rising Phoenix, which is essentially core for Dragonic Vanquisher decks, and also the Dragonic Death Scythe, which you can play as a tech option. Additionally, Premium for Narukami is essentially Standard Plus, where you can use your Standard Vanquisher deck and easily transition it into Premium, alongside the new stride, the Conquering Supreme Dragon Sunverse Dragon, that appears in Premium Collection 2020. So if you want to play a very strong deck in both formats, pick up a Dragonic Vanquisher deck and you would not be dissatisfied.
Nova Grappler got it pretty good in the reprint collection. You want to get your draw PGs as well as Kick Kick Typhoon, a super good card that likely won't be replaced for a long time. Not only is it useful in Standard, but also Premium. Nova Grappler Premium, however, is locked behind a lot of older cards such as Victor. Because of this, it's not the easiest to get, but if you can get cards such as Brutal Jack and Scarlet Bird, those are really good investments if you don't already have them. The only other card that I can recommend right now for Nova Grappler is Starfighter Silver Fist. It's good for filtering, and if you play fronts, or even if you don't and you just have a grade 1 spot that you want to fill out.
Dimension Police have good reprints in Festival Collection. Platinum Ace is a great rearguard that puts out pressure equal to Silvard. PGs are of course a no-brainer. If you're feeling Blad over Gallop, get the older pieces in Standard and play that. It synergizes better with the Festival Collection reprints and the Premium Collection card. In Premium, find your favorite D-Robo starter Goyusha, slap that and some Guidebreak friends into the deck along with your big Monster Stride and a standard Dieliner deck. Then enjoy a defensive grade 3 deck that hits big numbers. It's also extremely worth it getting the end of G Gallop Stride, so this is extremely important to Premium as it works well with standard Laurel. Finally, hunt down for G-Guards and other backup strides like Die Earth/Die Max.
Currently, Link Joker's in a bit of a weird spot. With the Messiah deck, you really just need the cards from the reprint collection, and even then, the only two that are super important are a couple of Blast Monks and the Draw PGs. Apart from that, the new Messiah deck in Standard can be built with only cards from the new set. Premium Messiah needs a lot of older cards, like Integral Messiah and Sacrifice Messiah, so it isn't too accessible unless you want to drop a lot of money. The leaders are similar, but they work really well with the Cray Elemental deck. So you may want to pick up the Zazan engine if you want to win with those. As well as that, the OG Evo is super good for searching out your pieces, and apart from that, you want to get as many Link Joker vanillas as you can. Spike Bros was a little bit tougher for us, so this list may have a few problems with it, but the biggest things that we've seen in Premium are Jelly Beans and the Dudley Heal if you want to rush to GB8. Premium also likes to have a grade 3 with a Force marker, so you just want to get any of the older grade 3s. As well as that, Spike Bros players have said that their deck works well with the Zazan engine, so you can pick that up as well. And lastly, from the Festival collection, most of the cards there seem pretty solid and have been played in basically all the Spike Bros lists that we've managed to find, and so they're very likely to age well.
Dark Irregulars have a very strong standing card pool, which makes it very easy to convert it into Premium, since it requires very minimal changes. The current standard build focuses around Brufus from Phantasmal Steed Restoration, where you can build its deck mostly from that set. Other strong cards in the clan include No Life King Death Anchor and Master of the Fifth Element, as long as Dimension Creeper. For Premium, it becomes one of the strongest decks in the format. It's mainly a standard deck with very minimal changes. I'll recommend running Original Dimension Creeper, Enigmatic Assassin, and Monogram of Nightmare Land. The G-Zone is very minimal, as it just requires the Castile Stride and G-Guardians, as Castile is the main focus of the deck.
Pale Moon and Standard have an abundance of different decks to play. The ones currently being supported though are Harry and Luquia. For Harry, there is little you need from previous sets. Just focus on getting yourself draw knowledge from Festival Collection, and you'll be set. Luquia, on the other hand, require almost the entirety of VBTO6, and it's not budget friendly. From older sets, it would be ideal to pick up Dancing Knife Dancer and Comicality Chimera for countercharge options. Pale Moon is a deck that uses Counterblast a lot, and needs to countercharge a lot. In Premium, Pale Moon also have a few options to play. Standard plus Harry only needs previous strides, such as Darkwood Princess and Masquerade Master to work. For Silverthorn, Zelma and Serne are good pickups to push Standard plus Silverthorn to the next level. For Songstress Loop, all you need is the G version of Power Butcher Resist and Flying Periton to make sure that your loop goes off without a hitch.
Here Chronicle has two standard builds, one focusing on Chrono Fang Tiger and one focusing on Chrono Jet Dragon. Chrono Fang deck can almost just be built on the Astral Force booster. Chrono Jet requires cards from Astral Force, Trial Deck Chrono Jet, and the next stage. Festival Collection also provides you with the key cards for completing both decks. For Premium, Chronojet Dragon takes the spotlight, as it is easy to transition its standard deck into a Premium, with cards such as Grogrock Dragon, Chrono Dragon Next Stage to Stride, and Heterohound Dragon. You can also try putting in the Time Loop engine, as it's one of the stronger engines back in the G era. Granblue is one of the easiest decks to transition from standard to Premium, as it is basically just a G-Zone with your standard deck. For your standard deck, it's currently focused around Ice Prison Necromancer Cocytus, which can be found in My Glorious Justice. The Festival Collection reprints are also very key staples in a Granblue deck in both formats. I also recommend picking up Skull Dragon, as it is one of the deck's win cons in both Standard and Premium. Premium mainly focuses around the G-Zone, which include Big Obadiah, Pirate King of the Rose Twilight Night Rose, and Megiddo. There's also a lot of room for tech options in Premium for the main deck, which include Pirate Swordsman's Columbard, Skeleton Cannoneer, and Grenache.
While Bermuda Triangle isn't receiving any support that we know of, it is important to pick up Lizelot and Aurora. These are both being found in the Festival Collection. Steza and the Grade 2 Coral are also good options regardless of the deck you play, just for the consistency helping. Bermuda Triangle Premium is expensive and very hard to find. Spirited Star Trois is essential, as well as Selena, Courage, and Freya for the Riviere engine. The G-Zone also needs Riviere, Tirawa, and Megiddo, all of which are expensive for the deck. This deck is not budget friendly. You could go with Highlander, but it requires you looking for stronger cards from a lot of previous sets.
Aqua Force has little to no changes to transition from Standard and Premium, making it a very easy deck to build for both formats. In Standard, Last Card Revon is the key card in the deck, which can be found in Team Dragon's Vanity along with all its support. The Festival Collection should round off the deck, as it comes with Coral Assault and Will Assault, both very good cards in the clan. I also recommend picking up Tidal Assault from Champions of Asia Circuit, however it is a bit pricey at the moment, and Algos can substitute as a cheaper alternative. In Premium, the pickups I'll recommend will be Alexandros, Jumphole Dragon, G-Guardians, Saberflow Sayer, and a Tidal Assault from the original series, which is a way superior card than its V-Series counterpart.
Megacolony is one of those easy to build clans in Vanguard, and it is a very cheap clan, although that says a lot about its viability these days. However, it does get good reprints in the Festival Collection in the form of Machining Mantis and Machining Hornet, which are your good pieces for searching your grade 3 cards. However, as I said before about its viability, in Standard, you have a middle strategy that focuses around the true demonic rifle word Gunning Koleo, which in all honesty is very luck reliant and not very consistent at doing what it needs to do, although it had very few tops since its release. On the other hand, in Premium, Megacolony is in a very bad spot, as most of its recent support does not support any coherent strategy that you can play around in Premium. So if you want to build a deck, generally do not look towards Megacolony unless you want to wait for the Evil Governor Dark-Faced Gridor support that would appear in VBT or 10 later on in the year.
For Great Nature and Standard, Binoculars Tiger and Monoculars Tiger are still amazing for the Isabel build, and still might be used in Big Belly for Draw, Retire, and Guard Strict Pressure. Leopold, if no other, will be an amazing backup Grade 3 ride for Big Belly if Big Belly requires your opponent to be on Grade 3. With the release of Festival Collection, I would pick up a set of Draw PGs. Although they might not be needed, they will be affordable and very good to have. Cicella and Matilda are good to pick up for a cheap price, although personally, I don't think they'll be utilised with the new support that we will get. With the new support getting 2 VRs, Great Nature is in a good spot and hopefully we'll see a nice, fun and good deck. Premium isn't in an amazing spot and gets power cut by a lot of first stride decks. It can't kill with one stride, and that makes a big difference against a whole lot of meta decks. Crown Tiger is a staple, but a very expensive staple. In Neo Nectar, for Festival Collection, prioritise the PGs if you don't already have those from the trial deck. Sunlight Guard is one of those reprints in the set that you can use since she is a great filler / budget card due to being able to make 2 tokens and fill up the field quickly, but with Asha and Inez and Musketeers, she isn't as needed as she once was. You also want to pick up from Tri 3 stuff like Enoma, which should be used as a staple as support continues. Kara is another good pickup that can be found in the trial deck for low costing rush. In Premium Collection, just grab the stride in your Premium Collection crits and glue it on an Asha starter deck. Definitely pick up G-Guards like Rain Breath and Altera for extra combo plays that you can do on your opponent's battle phase. So, what kind of clans are you most interested in? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Vanguard content. Thanks for watching, and peace.